Hello, everyone. I've got another live for you today with. I just invited her to hop on. There we go. Technology's on our side. Now, I just had some construction noise start, so hopefully it holds off, but we'll see. We will see.
Exactly.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to be talking about three things every single teacher, especially new teachers, need to know to create sacred success. And Carla is going to break down what exactly sacred success is. But first, if you have not met me before, my name is Taylor. I am a yoga teacher as well as a confidence coach and mentor for new yoga teachers. And I've most recently added somatic work into my practice and teachings, which is really exciting because it's a really special way to help heal the self-doubt, which I specialize in helping people move through so that we can be our most confident, beautiful selves. And Carla, can you introduce yourself to everyone who doesn't know you yet?
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much for this. As always, I love our conversations. And Taylor and I we always have the best time. So I'm excited for you guys to hang out with us and hear what we have for you today. But I am Carla Klein Thomas. I am a yoga and a self-love coach. And what I specialize is helping you choose what success means to you, define that, and then design your life around it so that you are not only practicing yoga, but you're living it and you're loving yourself in the process. And I'm super excited today to break down what I consider to be sacred success, which we all have within us, and to answer any questions that Taylor throws at me so we can give you some juicy nuggets to make your yoga practice and your life shine so bright.
Yes, I love that you mentioned actually living your yoga because this is something that I think a lot of yoga teachers, a lot of yoga practitioners in general strive for and aren't quite sure how to do it. And as yoga teachers, everyone thinks that we have all of our shit together and that we know exactly what to do. And that's not the case. It's just as much a practice for us as well. Both of us, I know for sure, it's a big practice. So we can dive a little bit more into that as well. But before we dive deep into the conversation, Carla is going to lead us through a beautiful grounding exercise so we can take in everything as easily as possible.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have the ability to come sitting in a chair or on your mat, rub your feet on the floor if you're in a chair, bringing your hands together and your thumbs into your heart center at your chest. And if you feel led to, close your eyes, rolling those eyes up into your third eye gaze. If not, just find a focal point somewhere in the room that speaks to you. Bring yourself into the present moment and center yourself in your heart. I want you to picture this beautiful glowing light surrounding your heart and just see it a little lighter now, and then watch as it grows brighter and brighter, breathing deeply through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel free to sigh it out with me. We'll do three of those, and then let's walk through this divine light meditation and prayer so we can bring you into this moment and you can digest and illuminate what works for you with our talk today. And in through your nose, out through your mouth. Two more just like that. This time, as you breathe in the love, safety, security, openness, and breathe out any fear or doubt or worry you might have. Now, just in your mind's eye, listen to me and repeat it silently to yourself. Divine love and light, let my mind, body, and spirit connect today. Let the conversation that I'm witnessing be what I need to embrace my destiny. Let me illuminate my own path, listen to understand, and know that everything is happening for me in this very moment. Let me know and trust that I am exactly where I need to be and that your love is flowing through me and radiating from me to everyone around me. One more deep breath in and let it out. Bring your palms down, face up on your thighs, ready to receive the beautiful message that we'll bring to you today. Mm. Bringing your heart into the room, and so it is. Thank you. Mm.
Oh, that was so lovely. I am tingling all the good feels right now. I love it. I love it when I get sensations like that. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think the main question that people will have is what exactly is sacred success? And you mentioned like defining success for you. And I know that's something that a lot of people hear and they're like, well, I don't know what success is for me, because we see all these examples online, but we don't know until we really start to try. So how do people navigate finding this sacred success?
That is a great question. First, let me tell you what it's not. And so I think that in today's world, there's so much hustle culture. Everywhere we go is about do, go, 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 instead of just be. And what I found was, as I was working in corporate America for 22 years, and I was working 60 and 70-hour weeks, and then I decided I wanted to start my own business. I started my own business and I did the exact same thing. I was working 60, 70, sometimes 80-hour weeks, coaching, teaching yoga, doing retreats, meditations, traveling all over the world. And I was still having fun, but miserable because what success means to me is helping, serving, living, and leading from my highest vibration, but also being healthy, happy, and whole at the same time. And being able to show up for my family, my friends, and for anyone who needs me to serve them in that moment. And when I'm in that busy hustle culture, I can't do that because I'm just doing for the sake of doing instead of being in my own sacred space and creating grace. I think that sacred success is being healthy, happy, and serving in the most embodied way. In other words, it shouldn't feel like a job. And it shouldn't be that we are yoga teachers. It should be that we are ourselves teaching yoga, or we are ourselves teaching meditation. And I think that, as I'm sure all of you heard, for me, that sounds a lot like barking dogs halfway through a meditation because I rescue pups at the same time, right? And that's life. And so this perfect, what I call yoga robot fantasy is just not reality. And I don't have all my shiitake together on any given day. But when I feel super funky and wonky, I have defined what success means for me, and I'm able to design my day and my life around it. And then lastly, I truly believe there has to be strategy, but it has to be soul filled strategy. It has to be heart goals, not smart goals, not all these things connected to something outside of you. It has to be what's in you and you following that guidance.
For sure. I know that I followed strategy that other people have recommended in the past. And I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, there's nothing wrong with the strategy that people put out there. It works for some people, but sometimes you really just have to find your own way. And I talk about it like you put on like all these different like hats and like try like all these things that your teachers do, sort of thing. Like you're trying on these different costumes and just finding what works. So I do want to say that a big part of this is really trial and error.
Mm.
As you have this full intention of how you want everything to be, a big part is going in, seeing what works, and saying like, you know what, actually I don't like this. Because sometimes you become a yoga teacher and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go teach like full time, and then you end up teaching 10 classes a week and you're like, I am so tired, I don't even want to look at my yoga mat because you're so tired from teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an example of the trial and error. And I know that for you, a big part of what you teach is self-love. And I know self-love can be a little bit of an eye roll word because it's so overused
Mhm.
in, especially like in marketing and the capacity that people think self-love is today. But I know that people are smarter than that and they know that it's more than just like the bubble baths and the face masks. So what do you think self-love is, and how should yoga teachers especially be applying this to their own practice and life?
So I'm so glad you asked. Self love is not all the things you do. And you'll hear me talk about self care and sadhana. And while it is a part of it, I personally believe that the highest form of self love is self discipline. And what do I mean by that? It means showing up for yourself even when you don't want to. It means also asking yourself some hard questions when you're feeling that. Like, uh, are you not doing the thing that you've meant to do today because it's hard and your perfectionism is keeping you from feeling like you're going to fail? Or are you not doing it because in your heart of hearts, you've realized that today, what you really need is a long walk in nature to reconnect with your truth so you're not regurgitating other people's ideas? So I really think that self love is self care plus a true daily sadhana. It doesn't have to be yoga. To me, a daily sadhana is what you do to make you feel great about being you. For me, that includes yoga, kundalini, meditation, music, dancing, and being in nature, right? Of some kind in any way. But it also is an action. It's not just a feeling. It's not the airy fairy of lighting candles and having a bubble bath. Yes, it is the little things over time that you do, but it is action. And clarity, I think, for all you yoga teachers out there, especially new ones, clarity comes from consistently doing it and showing up, not sitting and trying to figure it all out before you go. My advice to everyone to truly love yourself and create a business and a life you love is to create, don't wait, and just let things come to you in the way of like changing, but stick to who you truly are at your core. And to do that, you have to define what that looks like. Like for me, I want to serve people, I want to help people create a life first that they love, because for the longest time I was achieving and I wasn't present for anyone that I loved. And second, I want them to actually include what they want to do to serve others in that life, right? And so what does that look like? For some, it's Instagram lives and helping others understand what it looks like to go for your dreams. For others, it's teaching in a studio every day. For others, it's retreats and a membership. But every single yoga teacher needs to have this one practice in place. And I call it grace. You have to have something every day that grounds you, reconnects you to your truth, aligns your energy, consciously empowers your energy to show up and be who you want to be, because all the messages that we receive tells us differently, and everything that we see, especially online these days, gives us some message that we need something else. There's one more thing that we need to get or to buy to be the teacher we're called to be, and I am the queen of that. I am the help, personal growth, spiritual, whatever, like queen. I love to learn. I'm an avid learner, but I had to create a system for myself that says I'm going to do one thing per year until I hit this particular goal or this goal or this goal. Because if you're not careful, you're always learning and you're never leading. And so I think self love, that was a long way of saying it, but self love is definitely an action. It's what you do every day to embody who you want to be. And I think the confusion comes for us, Taylor, when people think that your purpose is what you do. And I don't think your purpose is what you do. I firmly believe your purpose is who you are. It is being authentically, unapologetically yourself on this physical plane at this time right now.
Mm. I really liked what you said about not getting stuck in the space of always learning and never leading. I'm going to steal this because I really like this. And this is something, a space that I've gotten stuck in myself, and a space that I see lots of people that I work with get stuck in as well, because it's really exciting to learn. It's really exciting to gather certifications. You should see, I won't show you because it's a mess right now, but my bookshelf behind me is lined with all of the books, all the trainings that I have done, and that's all wonderful, and that's helped shape me into the teacher that I am today.
Hmm.
But I've also gone and actually taken steps. And by taking steps, it means putting myself out there even when I didn't think I was ready, even when I didn't think I was a great teacher.
Hmm.
And another point that came up when you were speaking was that you don't always have to know what the future looks like. I'm at a point right now where I have like an idea of what like the general end looks like that I want to grow to, but I have no idea what steps to take after 2 and 3. And it's absolutely terrifying. But also so exciting because I tend to be someone who gets all of these ideas, has this big plan, and then gets bored like 2 steps in. But this is what I'm really rolling with, so I'm really excited to see how it will go. So if you don't have the whole plan, if you don't have the whole path laid out in front of you, this is normal because things do shift. And this is part of creating your success, no matter what your journey is. Because, like I said before, you may think you want to teach 10 yoga classes a week, and then you actually do it, and you're like, no, this is not for me. You got to learn on the way as well.
Hmm. Hmm. And we are very similar in that way because I'm the same, and I'm the girl that I always say I'm a recovering perfectionist because I used to have everything planned out from like every day, what I eat, what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I'm wearing. Like I would have everything done the night before, and I would have a whole month in advance. And while I do have a plan for like my content that I'm sharing, for the classes that I'm sharing, and when I'm going to like launch my next thing, I too am like right now, honestly, giving myself permission to beta test just being and serving and showing up for my students and for my clients and asking the questions, right? Because I think we forget that even this thing called life is a journey, and especially when you're on the spiritual path, so much of what we see is about just wait and it will come and manifest and be. And some of this is true, but manifestation, right? It's spiritual bypass. I was going to say, well, this is spiritual bypassing. And, the difference is to truly manifest, your actions, your thoughts, your feelings, and emotions have to align. And you already have to be that for it to come into play. Whether you are in real time or not, like I can manifest like a queen. I always joke that I just have to get as good at manifesting what I want as I am at what I don't want. And so I realized that I am sometimes, worry is praying for what you don't want. And I am a worrier. So I have to do things. I set alarms on my phone throughout the day to go off to remind me to stop it, right? Be joyful, be playful, be loving, be open, and different songs at different times. And like right before, I'm an empty nester for the first time ever. And I love being a mom and being a Gigi. And it was really hard for me at first because I actually miss going to all my kids' things. Like I'm one of those crazy moms that loved doing things with my kids, and I still do. Like I'm not the girl that says, whew, thank God they're gone. I'm not that girl. I love when my kids are home. I love doing things with them. But that's a difference in where I'm at in my life. And I had to go, okay, Carla, that's fine. But you still have to go, right? You can't just wait. Everything's not going to be handed to you anymore. Like, you're not going to have someone call you and say, Carla, are you writing that book that you said you were going to write? Carla, are you planning that retreat that you said you're going to do? That is the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is creating a circle of people that will still hold you accountable, but also holding yourself accountable and understanding that manifestation and creating are a direct result of the inner work that you do for yourself. And I personally believe if you don't love yourself first while you're creating this business, or at least are creating a practice that's helping you um, improve how you feel about yourself, your positive self-talk, your actions, like instead of beating yourself up when you can't figure the thing out, you go, okay, all right, What's going on? Let's do it differently. Let's do something else. It's a very different mindset. And I think as new teachers, especially if you've been in a setting where someone's telling you what to do, or if you've never been an entrepreneur before, it's a really hard thing that no one talks about to be in that role every day. And I have a routine. I wear a different hat when I'm creating, I wear a different color lipstick. And I think that that is also like a sacred success routine. It's you getting up and saying, today, I'm going to wear my green yoga pants. Uh-oh, there you are. My green yoga pants because that's I want to be in my heart today, right? I'm going to wear my love yourself first because I want people to know how important it is to do that. And having a little routine where you play a certain playlist, put on a certain hat, put on lipstick, wear different glasses, whatever that looks like for you will put you in that role and pull you off of the funky, fresh, hot mess express, right? Of self doubt and self pity and the shame of, I have 10 certifications and I'm still not earning. It's okay. But it's not okay to go one more day without creating a plan to create what it is you said you wanted to do, right?
A plan that has wiggle room for sure.
Correct.
Now,
Yes.
just before we wrap up, I want to make sure we clearly define what these three steps are for people that we were talking about on this live. So self-love is one of the steps,
Yeah.
correct? To
So you first have to define what success means to you, and then design your actual day around loving yourself and that definition. And lastly, you really truly need to have strategy of some sort every day, whether it's going to be, I'm going to practice first, design a new program, or I'm going to just start teaching for free, small sections, whatever that is, an action plan that fills your soul on fire and be willing to do it for like 1 to 3 years. Like you can be multi-passionate, but you can't always be doing something different because then your students won't be able to find you because they won't understand what it is you offer.
100%. So what this would look like teaching in a studio is maybe doing like a bunch of different styles. I do want to say that's totally okay to do in the beginning as you're figuring out your jam because you want to figure out what style you like to teach. And you also want students to help you figure out what style you're best at because you maybe won't like yin much, but your students will really, really love you in yin. So maybe that's an opportunity for you to say, like, oh, hey, maybe my success is more in yin. And that's not to say that you're going to niche down like that forever. Like I know a really popular YouTube yoga with Cassandra, she has said, I've read in interviews that she was teaching yin and vinyasa and people tended to like yin better. So she really leaned into that. And now she teaches like multiple different things as well.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean of really allowing your path to be open. There's multiple forks in the road. And as long as you start walking down one, you can say, okay, this is working or this is not working. And you can choose
Yeah.
other forks.
Well, let me say one thing. I think you have to be a yoga and a self-love scientist. Like it's really about trying different things, exactly like you said, and figuring out first of all what sets your soul on fire and what your people want from you. And you will know really quickly. Like I will spend sometimes hours creating what I think is a beautiful class. And then I will hop on and do something ridiculous. And that's the one that everyone loves is when I'm being ridiculously goofy and silly. And I think, okay, guys, I get it. You want me to be the goofball that I am. I got it. Right. So it's really about being authentic, but giving yourself permission to experiment and be that um just be think of it as an adventure, man. Like really be in this headspace of, you know what? I'm going to keep practicing and I'm going to keep teaching and I'm going to keep showing up. And I promise you, the thing that you have most been afraid of is really the thing that's going to set everything in motion for you.
And be willing to accept that failure is a part of your adventure. The amount
Yeah.
of classes I've canceled, the amount of workshops I've had to cancel because people didn't show up or people didn't sign up, like that's just a part of the journey. There's so many times where I'm just like, oh, people are gonna love this, and then I put it out there and it's crickets. It's like, okay, maybe they don't. So either rework the messaging or pivot to something else, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And not personally is what will save you. This is what your practice, your self-love, your self-discipline that you choose to do in the morning and the evening, whenever your practices are, will
Mm-hmm.
really up for these so-called failures that may hit you harder some days than others. And that is all just
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know what, I think flipping that switch and failing forward and knowing that it's not really failing, it's you either learn what to do or what not to do, right? That's that's how you have to flip the switch. And the number one thing that I want new teachers, new entrepreneurs, anyone in this online space especially, but in any business, is a mindset of growth and of learning and of really being able to ask and receive help is key to continuing because like you said, I've had since I've pivoted from just coaching and helping small businesses into what my heart and my soul is passionate about, which is nature and yoga and at helping people to truly get what's in their head and their heart out into the world. I have had crickets on, I cannot tell you, like just complete silence on things that I have put out there. And I thought it was going to be amazing too. So, but you know what? I was like, okay, what worked? What didn't work? Right? Did someone ask questions? It's all a learning process. And if you treat it like every day is this big grand adventure and understand that your health and your happiness comes first, that overworking and always striving for something different isn't the answer, but really being disciplined about loving all of you, not being perfect, all of you. That's when the magic is going to happen for you.
yeah, I really liked what you said about like knowing when to reach out and to ask for help, because me and Carla met in our 300-hour yoga teacher training, and we're both very vocal in that training, asking lots of questions. If you've ever been with me in a training, I got my hand up on like every call. There's always a question. Carla as well. And then we continued on together in a mastermind with the same teacher and really got to know each other and really have additional support. So this is not work. We have not gone to the places that we are today without a ton of help. And
Mhm.
experience, I've tried to do it all solo. There are many days I wish that I could just do it by myself, and it does not work. It simply does not. So reach out when you need to, collaborate when you can. We
Mhm.
have Carla, if people are really loving your energy, how can they get to know you more and potentially work with you?
Well, I am me, Carla Klein Thomas, everywhere. I'm always here on Instagram, but I also have a sacred support group that is private on Facebook, and I show up and do Monday meditations as well as daily affirmations. And I'm about to launch a self love and sadhana challenge. So, you know, I have a website, which is carlakleinthomas.com, but just kind of get to know me here on social media or DM me and I'll put you into my group. And I just am so grateful for the opportunity to speak and to talk to you. And I absolutely know that Taylor has been so successful in so many ways. Listen, if you aren't watching her videos, it's mind blowing. Honestly, she looks like she's been teaching for 20 years, but you know what I mean? And she's truly an example of going for it and taking action every single day. So I know I want to say too that mentorship is huge and giving people a place to practice. And that's something that I'm currently creating is a group coaching program where we show up together, teachers like you and I, and we're really just allowing them to teach and learn technology and learn what it looks like. And so that's in the works for 2025. But right now, I just, you know, just check me out. And if my energy speaks to you, I would love to have you in our sacred support group, and I would love to serve you in any way possible.
Carla was amazing. Highly, highly recommend spending more time with her. And if you are curious about what I do or want to work with me, I have my 4-month part coaching, part mentorship program called Sacred Exploration, which is perfect for new yoga teachers or people who have been teaching for a while and are really looking on up leveling and really creating the success as there's a fire alarm. So that's my You guys can DM me if you have any more questions. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, love. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, everyone.